Okay,
Sleepyhead.
hello. Should I start the homework now?
Nah, you could do it in about half an hour. Just kidding.
Okay. All right. Okay, so from our last class, what problem would arise with the category of tree if aloes wood trees were self-existently a tree?
All no
trees.
more mesquites.
Cherry trees.
All trees would be aloe. Aloes would. Aloes.
Yeah. Both. There would be no other members, and there would be no category. Both of you, whoever said that is right. There'd be no such category, and there would be no other members other than aloes wood. Okay. What is the relationship between? This is a multi-part question. Just reviewing everything. What is the relationship between an aloes wood tree and tree?
To be an aloes wood tree is to be a tree.
Yes. Is this relationship automatic?
No.
Correct. What implications of automatic relationship?
It would be
Automatic.
existing self-existently.
Yes, exactly. What would the implications if it did?
Then to be a tree would be an aloes wood. And that's not true.
Exactly. Good. So that's a review of the last question.
We lost you, Word. I don't know if you-
Didn't hear any
we
of
couldn't
that.
hear you. But I think that the answer is that they're both members of the same set tree.
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't asked it yet, but yeah, that's correct. And then how is this relationship germane to our current discussion?
We're discussing whether the seeds of the kunchi and that they're not.
Wait.
And if they were, then they would, or
Yeah.
if they were, then they couldn't change. But if they were, then if they were, I'm getting it all confused. That there be a sense that they are in the sense that they belong to the kunchi. They belong to the.
Okay. Yeah, that's our next question. You're totally right.
The
Maybe
tree.
a better phrasing would say how is this how's the logic that they are two both members of a set germane to our discussion?
I was just thinking word that maybe, I mean, here's a guess, okay? There's a general thing called kunshi. And then under it, there's two members, Tendugirpe kunshi and Bratendugirpe kunshi. The kunshi, which is the refrigerator or the basis, and the kunshi, which is the resting on that basis or the seed, right? Could you say that? Kunshi general. What we call kunshi is the set, and then the two members of the set is kunshi considered as the refrigerator, and kunchi considered as the seed. Could you say that? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, totally. Just the rub of this particular part, which we discussed, because everything about the kunshi will come in the next question. But basically, the rub is two members of a set have to be distinct. They can't lord over each other. So if once you classify them as members, as you're saying in specific, then all the logic around kunshi comes out of that. So just go ahead to the next part because everybody's pretty much on that next part. Because two members of the set, same things, whatever. Okay, so here we go. If both conscious seeds are members of the same set, what if you consider them self-existently the same? What problems then arise? What problem then arises? So we have what Venerable Gelsay said, classification of consciousness as separate or the same thing, and the problems there. And then what I guess you Michael just said regarding if there are two parts of the kunshi, one which is the consciousness holder part, the storehouse part, and one is this thing being stored. Those two things and for they cannot be the same. The problems want us to be there or not being separate. Ugh, okay, that was a review of what they said. That's not exactly what I put in my answer. I'm just gonna pull it hard for anyone to get it exactly.
Hey, Word, your internet's breaking up pretty bad. Almost every sentence. So I don't know.
Might be too early.
Like he's frozen now.
In Tucson?
If you would just feed some more coal into the boiler, maybe you could fix that. I don't know.
Hello?
Wait till the sun comes out.
A little more food to the hamster in the wheel.
That proves that Rimrock is a better city than Tucson.
Yay, Rimrock.
Oh, that's the first time anyone ever said that.
Hey, I said it.
Second time.
Yay, Rimrock. Look, it's 3.
The best cafe in the state.
Maumba.
It's freezing here too.
Hey, Word, maybe you could try your getting on the internet on your phone. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That.
A sigh of relief we heard. But you just got
Maybe you could hook your internet to your phone and not to your house internet.
Maybe if you just plug your Ethernet jack straight into a carrier pigeon. Oh, buddy.
well, let's try to understand this answer.
Okay, sir. No problem arises.
I have a proposal, you guys.
Yes.
How about I go to the class and then,
Hello? Is that
Hi,
better?
Word.
okay.
All right. Okay, I'll just read the answer. If they are members of the same set, then they must be separate. And problems arise concerning the seeds being able to create our world, your world as the foundation consciousness. If to be seeds is to self-existently be foundation consciousness, with the, I guess, the foundation consciousness, then you have no other members of the group called consciousness, and nothing could exist because seeds aren't aware.
Okay.
Anyway, you can debate that. Okay, so this is to wrap up the term up till now. So please explain the punchline of this whole term vis-a-vis this line. Anybody? Venerable Gelsay was getting there earlier.
So that to be the seeds is neither to be the foundation consciousness nor not to be the foundation consciousness. Right?
Yeah, that's what it says. What's the punchline?
Oh, that it's confusing.
Yeah, I don't feel like we've decided yet. It's hard.
Well, I think where he's heading is that I think then this whole thing is going into a discussion of whether the mind, the kunshi itself is a ze, right? Does it exist substantially? Right.
Yeah.
I think that's where he's going in general. That like, what does the mind only school say? Is the kunshi, does it exist really or not? You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Well, and
Okay.
I'd say the practical application is if the husband in the kitchen is just a seed ripening in the refrigerator, then it's even more extreme than middle way. Then you're getting angry at a seed ripening in your mind. It's not even that the person outside of you is coming from you, it's that the person is inside of you. How's that?
You're getting mad at your own mind.
Mhm.
You're getting mad at a part of your mind. And it's even worse than if you're getting mad at something that's coming because you yelled at your kids.
I don't agree.
In a way, it's more convincing. I don't know. If the people I'm upset at are part of my own mind, then I definitely have to improve, you know.
Well, it's more convincing if you just stop there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've also been saying that members of a set can't overlap, but that's not at
Yeah.
all true, right? There's a ton of circumstances where it does. I
Like,
mean, well, I mean, the easiest one is just to say car and Chevy are both members of the set working thing. And so that, you know, there's overlap in the sense that, you know, one is characteristic of the other. But if you want separate ones, then you can also say like gas powered car and electric powered car have overlap in hybrids, like my car. I mean, I'm sure you could come up with, you know, endless examples of subsets that overlap. I don't know.
And
Just
are they proper subsets?
well, I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, to be a, you know, an electric car is to be a car. If you take away all cars, you take away electric cars, and there do exist other things that are not electric cars but are still cars. For example, gas powered cars. I don't know. Just bug me.
yeah.
Hey, Tibetan.
Mhm.
Sleepy words.
What's Shapa?
Yes.
Oscar says aloe tree. Oscar's almost always right.
Yeah, it's aloes wood, or these other names for it as well. Shupa.
Juniper.
Yeah.
Hey, word, can you use it as a medicine? Shapa?
I believe it's a medicine, and it's most often used as a incense. It's very famous as an incense all over Asia. They usually call it agar agar. And
does it grow in Tibet?
I don't know if it goes up that high. It's
Okay.
very popular in China, and Japan as an incense. And I believe it grows in Indonesia, actually. So I have a feeling it doesn't grow that high.
Okay. Okay.
But I would have to check.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it grows in the lowlands and tropics and stuff. It's very expensive.
Oh,
Yeah, it's getting rarer too. PJ.
Book that's going to be out in paperback on December 30th.
ooh.
Okay, what's it called?
King of the Dharma.
Or yeah.
Who's it referring to in our text?
Sakya Pandita.
Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Okay, here are my translated verses.
Oh man, this is painful. Dana Jesus sawanam ne matope chize se dupa dupa desi tu zechi dan tade takpe kenyi papomi dupa. For that reason, as long as the member said Jesus sawanam, that says archetype. Jesus sawanam ne matope chize se dupa dupa desi. Said zechi dan tade. That was the case of the sentence. Yeah, the only suggestion I have, the only big suggestion I have, is that you distribute ze to both chick and tade. Can you read it? Can you now change your English? Distribute ze to both. This in the second line. Distribute the word ze. It should say desu du ze chick dang ze tade.
Mm.
Now change that, and I think your sentence is all right.
I mean, I guess, I mean, we're having the same, I'm having the same issue with Zay, as an adjective, how to, and to say to be one is to be the other, what is it? So I don't know. I would say if you're based on that comment, therefore it cannot be the case that the set and its members could be thought of as to be one is to be the other, or substantially separate, because
So
both
I would say to be one is to be the other, or to be one is not to be the other. That's all.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, and then your sentence is good. Then your translation is good, I think.
All right.
Yay.
And it's a very, very difficult sentence. Do you want to go deeper?
Sure.
There's a construction here. There's a connection between the word GC and the word desi. Do you know what's that? Do you know? Do you remember?
Yeah, I'm aware of that construction, and I was trying to work with it. GC is like it presents it, and then desi like tells you what it is. So it's like GC is like how is it, and then desi is like this is how it is.
Yeah, like you would say in Tibetan, GC Geshe Michael continues to eat donuts. Desi, he will always have problems with his allergies, something like that. So there has to be a cause and effect relationship between what comes after GC and what comes after desi. See what I mean?
Yeah, that was my therefore is a attempt at that.
Okay. Well, it has to be connected to the as long as. You see what I mean?
Right.
As long as blah blah blah. For that, as long as that holds true, then yeah. So you did it. I think it's pretty good. I think the therefore the desi pretty well. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. These are very, very difficult, and that's why we gave you this book. Yeah. So the bottom line of the first sentence is you can't say the seeds are the kunshi, and you can't say they are not the kunshi. Okay. Shenyang zhe chik to kin lang ne. Chani dubala gawa mena. Yenla da yenla chenyi zhe chik pasangi kanga pamina. There's not the case that to be one is to Shenyang zhe chik to kin lang ne. What is he kin lang?
They chick.
Yeah, so accepting what?
To be one is to be other.
Yeah. So you have a not the case.
I know this is what I was having a hard time with because this is
Okay.
me down here.
Oh, no, that refers to the Gelwa.
I know. Okay, I messed with this for a while, and I
Okay.
read it out loud before I finished my homework, trying to make sure I was saying. This is what I'm saying. It is not the case. Blah 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 is in contradiction. So I was trying to negate the contradiction. So
Oh, okay. If you
is that
think
right?
that's to be honest. Well,
Uh,
it actually is something like once you accept that to be one is to be the other,
Mm-hmm.
then if there's no, then how can there be no contradiction that they are two separate things? It says something like that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. I struggled with it.
Yeah, and in that case, not. Oh no, Minuso by the Buddha.
It was not refuted.
Yeah, not even the Buddha could deny this undesirable
Hmm.
result of your logic.
Hmm.
Not even a Buddha could deny this bad consequence of your thinking. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm having a hard time distributing knots.
Yeah, yeah. If there's no contradiction, if the members and the set, then the members of the set and the set would have to be such that to be the set is to be the members, and not even a Buddha could deny that that's what would have to happen.
Right. That makes total sense.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Then trees would have to be aloe trees. And not even a Buddha could deny that they would have to be, if your logic is true.
Got it.
Okay, cool. Extremely difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow important, and again, I want to repeat that it's hard to think about these things, and it's frustrating, and we don't understand, and then we feel like we don't want to read this thing. But that's just sheer laziness, and if you're gonna see emptiness directly, you gotta face these things, and you gotta figure them out, or you never will. You see, you can't just let things go on the way they used to be and think that's magically you're going to see emptiness. You have to try to think about things that are hard to think about. And so it requires kind of a courage to be a mixed nut. And I think all the mixed nuts we have do have courage. So, all right. Thank you that was probably the two worst sentences in the whole thing. Maybe it'll get easier, but then we won't learn as much. Okay, what's going on here? All right. So I wanted to say one thing. When we tried to look up this quotation, which is before Tsongkhapa, it's about, I don't know, 150 years before Tsongkhapa. Let me show you let me get my cursor bigger. Yeah, so we don't have him in the database yet. We had, when we first started the input project, I went to the Sakya monastery. I offered them free computers. I offered to pay them if they would put in their great books. They have a collection that's similar to the Kangyur and Tengyur, which is called Sakya Kabum. And I don't know, it's the great books of 5 of their greatest founders of Sakya lineage. And I offered to pay them, and I paid for everything. I paid for the electricity. And they did a good start. They typed in a lot of stuff. And then I think the abbot changed and it just got lost somehow. But we still have all that data. I'm not sure if it's the whole Sakya Kabum, but I think it's a lot of it. And I asked Word if he could go cut that text out of the raw data. And he went and did it. He cut this text out of the raw data. And it's something that we still have to do. It's something that still needs to be done, is to cut them out and to put them into the database somewhere. That's it. I wanted to thank Word for doing that. And I also wanted to say that, we need a team to do this kind of stuff. It would help to have people to do this kind of stuff. And we could add all these to the database. Also our catalogs are not, our catalogs need some work. And it would help a lot to look up things if we had better catalogs. So Joel from Vancouver has been working hard to try to improve the catalogs, and Venerable Phil Baker has been trying to cut out the text, but they still need help. And if there's anybody that could help with that, it would be nice. So just basically the mixed nods, we have a group of catalogs that are old catalogs from about 20 years ago. And they're all pieces of catalogs, and they're all in a big file. So you can search them, but it's messy. And it would be nice to work on that with a team. If we could get a team together, especially of mixed nuts, to really clean up the catalogs and just basically make a list of all the authors and their standard names. And then a list of all the books. It would be really nice. We don't have a perfect catalog. And we have a lot of books that we could still cut up into pieces. So if people wanted to help with that, talk to Nick maybe. And Joel from Vancouver is really committed to working hard on improving that catalog. And he's done a lot of work on it. We still need to do more. Okay. So I'm going to skip past Ngawang Pelden. And we're going to pick up here. By the way, there is an aloe tree, if anyone cares. Okay. I looked it up because I don't know, there's an aloe. What's that stuff you use on your skin? Word aloe.
Vera.
Vera.
Is that the same thing? I don't know.
No, Gan,
No.
it's different.
Okay. All right. We're going to go down to, we finally, by the way, what's happening is words to text. We've reached the end of the difficult part. So this whole term was devoted to a very, very difficult part. And I think it's kind of fun. Let me check the time. If we work hard today, we can get out of the forest of aloe trees and we can go to easier stuff. And I think we deserve it. So Word, let's go. Okay.
Chasing my yin, len dokpe, nupa de shapatang, zechik kamtade.
Yeah. Now let's think what he says here. Shing mayembele dopa. What's that mean, Word?
The tree is not the opposite of everything that it is not. Wait, no, it's not a tree when it is the opposite of everything it is not.
It's
Nope.
not.
No, he says, let's take the opposite of all that's not a tree. That's what it means, okay? Let's take the opposite of everything that's not a tree.
Oh yeah, my yin is sometimes used with.
Yeah, it's used as yin, right? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this dokpa here in this case does not mean a double reverse, but sometimes it does mean a double reverse. And that's a big headache, okay? So let's take everything which is not the opposite of a tree. What is that word?
A member of the set of, the archetype of a tree.
Good, yeah. And archetypes cannot be
Working things, functional things.
Yeah, this first line is already trouble, okay? we cannot read it as, let's consider that working thing.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of all that is not a tree. We can't read it that way. We have to read it as the thing you get, the thing you end up with
Oy.
when you reverse all that is not a tree. You have to read it that way, or it doesn't make sense. Okay.
Wow.
So let's talk, which is really the archetype, which cannot be a ngupo. Okay. So here in ngupo, you have to read it as that thing. Okay. That thing you end up with when you reverse all that is not a tree. Now, which is the archetype. Now, question for you, word. Is Xing Shapa Dan Zeiching?
No.
No. Is Shapa Xing Dan Zeiching?
Yes.
Good, good. To be tree is not to be an aloe tree, but to be an aloe tree is to be a tree, okay?
Yes.
Is to be a member of trees, okay?
Yeah.
So don't forget the first one you mentioned is normally under the second one, okay? Okay, the
Mhm.
first one you mentioned is normally the member, and the second one you mentioned is normally the set. So I'll say it in Tibetan, okay? Is Shapa Xingdan Zeichig?
Shapa, Xingdan Zeichik, Yin.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Is Xing Shapa Dan Zeichig?
No.
Xing Shapa Dan Zeichik, my Yin.
Nice, perfect. Okay, good, good. So which one did he put first here?
Te.
Yeah, De means the chi, the archetype, Xing.
Mm.
Okay, now he's talking about Xing.
Mhm.
So this says he's asking a question. Is Xing, is to be a Xing to be a Shapa or not?
My Yin.
Is is to be a Xing not to be a Shapa?
Well, Zeichik or not to be.
That's what Zeichik means.
Yeah, okay, but you didn't say that, so that's why I'm just,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
delicate.
so yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it is tade. It is separate. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not true that to be trees is to be aloe tree, right? It is true that to be aloe tree is to be a tree, okay?
Yes.
It's not true that to be a tree is always to be an aloe tree, okay?
Yeah.
Dambotarna means if the shapa were the chi, okay? Okay? If to be a tree was to be a shapa, okay? If all trees were aloe trees, okay? Then what would happen to the other selwas of trees?
They couldn't exist.
Yeah, they couldn't be trees. Here's the third line. Shingmayimbagyur. They couldn't be trees. If to be a tree was to be an aloe tree, there couldn't be any apple trees or juniper trees. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's reverse it. Let's reverse it. Okay. If to be a shapa is to be a tree,
Yep.
then if to be an aloe tree is to be a tree, then is there anything wrong with that?
No, then you can have other members of the set called tree.
Yeah, but if to be an aloe was to be a tree, then it would have to be unchanging. It couldn't be a tree. If to be an aloe tree is to be tree,
Hey.
then there couldn't be any other trees.
Wow.
If to be aloe tree is to be quote tree, then there couldn't be any other trees. If aloe tree equals the set called tree, then there's not any other trees.
Yeah, if aloe tree equals tree, then
Good.
there's not only not other trees, but there's not tree either.
Yeah, good. Okay, all right. That's our problem. By the way, this is a fallacy, and then I'll let you play with that, okay? It is true that to be an allotree is to be a tree, but it's not true that to be allotree is to be tree.
Right. Self-existently is the
Yeah, no, you can't even say that in English. To be allotree is to be tree. You can't say that.
yeah.
You can
I know
say-
because that implies self-existence. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, or it's to say that allotree is the set of all trees.
Right, which it's not.
Yeah, which is not. That's all. That's all. And then keep, you know, when you teach this to your students in the next 50 years, Ward, you know, you're going to have to. This is important. This is really, really important. This is how you see emptiness. This is one of the best ways to see emptiness if you struggle with this. Okay, let's read the next sentence.
Kelte. Shopper le Shenyang Xingdang Zechik Tun Duna. Shopper Xingmayinte. Zainam Penson. What is it? Is it Mandre, you think?
Yeah, Allah is a ma. And God, when I meet the guy who carved this, I'm gonna shoot him. Okay, I'm gonna commit the first of the 10 bad deeds.
No.
Okay, I promise. If I meet this guy, I'm going in a time machine back to the 13th century and shoot this guy. Okay, I spent 2 weeks on this. I couldn't understand it. This morning, I said, "Oh my God, it's Monday." Okay.
Right. But day with a owl isn't a word at all, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah. So that's
That's a clue,
that's a
right?
flag.
Yeah, I mean, there's some similar. Well, there might be a word chase somebody. I don't know. Okay.
Okay. So mandre par nepechir sungpe rikpatang jesu tuno.
Okay, here we go. And by the way, everybody have hope. You're almost out of this. And then you go from the frying pan into the fire when you get to Utpala's text. Very cruel to have both in the same morning. Okay. Kelte Shapala Shenya.
I think we're over time here.
No, we just started.
No. What?
Yeah, we're 10 minutes over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
Wait.
started 6.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
You guys are trying-
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
confusing.
yeah.
No,
not
Yeah,
yet,
I'm
but
very
that's
confused
the
with
word.
evening classes in the morning.
I
You
don't know
guys are
what-
all high on aloe plants.
Yeah, yeah.
Too much aloe for you guys.
Quit smoking aloe wood over there. I gotta move.
And you
The
guys
sauna is frying my brain. Sorry.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, poor Nick. I don't know. You gotta just, I don't know. Anyway, you could get a standing desk for the what do you call it? The sauna. Okay. Kelte Shapala Shenyang. Okay. If things which are other than aloe trees, which means juniper trees for him, okay? Now, are they Shingdan Zechik to do? Okay. Are trees other than aloe trees? Is to be them to be a tree?
Sure.
No.
No, that is. It is. Okay. Is to be a juniper tree to be a tree?
Wait,
Yeah.
tree or a tree?
Self-tree.
Okay, sorry, you're right. I'll say it more carefully. Is to be a juniper tree to be a tree?
Yes.
Yeah. Is to be a juniper tree to be, quote, tree?
No.
It is. Yeah, it
No.
is.
No. We just established that it wasn't. When you say quote tree, now you're asking if juniper tree is the archetype quote tree.
I'll give it to you for now, but think about it. Okay. Okay. What he's trying to say is exactly what I said. If trees other than aloe trees are tree, then aloe trees don't get to be trees.
Sure.
Okay. If trees other than aloe trees get to be, quote, trees, all trees, then aloe tree doesn't get to be a tree. If all the other trees in the world get to be the category called tree, then aloe tree gets left out. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shapa mayente. Okay. Shapa shing mayente. Then aloe trees don't get to be trees. Okay. All right, okay.
Yeah.
And they couldn't mix, there's no mixing because there's no mixing of members.
Hmm.
Okay, to be an aloe tree is not to be a juniper tree. To be an aloe tree is to be a tree, but to be an aloe tree is not to be a juniper tree if they are members of a set. No matter what Dr. Kramer says about hybrid cars.
Again, countless examples, right? I mean, deciduous trees and, oak trees are both members of the set tree.
But not on the same hierarchical level. How's that?
Yeah, okay, but wouldn't someone have to say that at some point?
Yeah, it's understood. Okay, but you're right. I understand what you're saying. And I think they actually get into that at some point. Okay, now word. There's a word here, shay. What's that imply?
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, somebody said the members don't mix, despite Dr. Kramer's comments. Somebody said the members don't mix.
Yeah.
Okay. Therefore, if to be other than an aloe tree is to be trees, then aloe tree, since it can't mix with other than aloe tree, cannot be tree. Okay, that's all. Easy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now there's a quotation mark here, right? Word. What does that mean?
That somebody said it. It's a quote.
It's a quotation.
Yeah, it's a quote. And Grandpa Mike went and found it for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Author Shantarakshita. A nice mind-only-ish lower middle way guy.
Hmm.
Teacher of
Kamala.
Kamala Sheila. Good. Who himself is a nice kind of mixture of lower middle way and mind-only school. And if you want to read more about that viewpoint, you can read what?
Venerable Upala's book?
Yeah, Venerable Upala's book, which I can't help but go find for you. Hang on. You're watching my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see my science fiction book?
Red
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to show that. Forget it. Okay. Anyway, you can go get her book. All right.
It's a message from God or someone close enough to him for our purposes. That's a cute
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, here it is. Dita mande pa nena, pensen pande nepa yi. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. If they are individual Chedoks, members of a set, without mixing, then they are pensen pangyal. What does that mean?
Then
Mutually exclusive.
Nice, Ellie. Nice, Venerable Jigme. Yeah. Then to be one is to not be the other. To be an aloe tree is not to be a juniper tree. Okay. So I think we got the right quotation. Then that's where we went to. That's went to Ngawang Pelden, who used the same quotation somewhere. Sorry, and who kept quoting Tsongkhapa. And then we had his nice little poop on the fruit thing from the Sakya Pandita. And this is all going to be a nice appendix. It's nice timing today, Word, because we're going to get through this hard part and we're going to hit the next part. So there's more notes, Word, on the Sakya Pandita's ideas. And yay, we're out of the woods. We're out of the trees. Okay, please read.
I translated these two next two ones.
Oh, good. You translated these two. May I be so bold as to skip to the third paragraph then. Is that okay?
Please.
What happened here, roughly?
No.
These are the two that were translated for the class.
Yeah,
We
just
already
to
went through.
what he said though before we.
If you accept a general which is independent of its members, then no matter Then if you get into just trying to decide whether the members are the general or aren't the general, you're going to have problems either way, which is what happened to us with the mind and the seeds. Okay. And the fact that you would have those problems is something that not even a Buddha could deny. Okay. And I'd like to announce that all the mixed nuts and our friends, surviving friends, a lot, 86 surviving friends. That's a lot. That's like looking around after a big battle and counting how many soldiers are left. And I'd say it's about almost 90% of the soldiers are left, which is pretty cool. We are out of that discussion. We're into the next discussion, which is much easier. Here we go, word. Please read. Dr. Kramer's going to check you. Grandpa's going to drink coffee.
Yang kam kyang chulwa ni tungyurte. Ditar sukam ki khle nyum njuk kompe tu sukki khle namin jupe sabun dunpe kunshi la gupatesh kunshi namshi tetang techiktu de gupe chirtang.
Yeah, here's a nice big mistake. I think this is Gupa. Okay. And let's read it. Okay. So, if you guys remember 100 years ago, there were 3 problems that would what do you call that? There's a logic word. There are 3 problems that would occur. There's a fancy logic word.
Would be incurred.
It sounds like that, but it's a different word. Anyway, there are 3 problems that would come up if the seeds were the foundation consciousness, right?
Entailed?
Say again?
Entailed?
No, there's a more fancy word. I don't remember. Anyway, if the seeds were the foundation consciousness, they would, if the seeds were the mind, they would also what?
Be aware.
They'd have to be
They
aware.
would be aware. They would see things. They would see things. Number 1. Number 2, all your rebirth
Will be mixed up.
All right.
would be mixed up because the mind is something of an instant, and all the seeds would be something of an instant. And in the mind, all the seeds for the 5 rebirths are always there. So if all the seeds had to be one instant, then all the seeds would be mixed up, and you could make the karma to go to the hell realms, and it would pop out as a paradise realm. Okay, something like that. They would be mixed up, chulwa. Okay, and if those seeds were mixed up, the third consequence of saying that the seeds are the kunshi is that the kams would get chulwa.
Yeah, the realms will get mixed up.
The realms, desire realm, formless realm, would get mixed up. Okay, and here's sulwa. What's the sulwa sum?
So what's Sumer the? You mean Suwa Shi?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sulwa shi. The 3 searches. Okay, the 3 searches.
It's without an owl.
4 searches. Sorry. Yeah. Now we fixed it. Okay. Oh no, it should have an owl. Back actually, it'd be easier.
Oh, I see. It appears in both ways, actually, in the text.
Yeah, the owl makes it easier to tell you the truth. Anyway, here the sulwa got chulwa with the chulwa.
Yeah, the Suwa got mixed up.
Yeah, they got mixed up. So yeah, the realms would get mixed up too. Nidu, totally. Okay, the realms would all get mixed up. Then what would happen, Warren? You could practice the Nyomjuk.
You can practice the meditation to be a deva.
Yeah, to be a deva in the
Worm realm.
good. And Sukilhai Namin Sabun. Oh yeah, then you could have a seed in your foundation consciousness to become a form realm God, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it would ripen as a dupe
A desire
God.
by some
Desire.
mystical power
Yeah,
that
yeah,
seed
yeah.
would ripen as a foundation consciousness in the desire realm.
Yeah, in other words, it would plant a seed in a desire realm kunshi, okay? De kunshi namshi dan zeje to duka beche, because you'd have to say that to be the seed was to be, sorry, then because you'd have to say that to be the consciousness is to be the seed.
Well,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget the first one is the subset normally, and the second one is the set. Okay, so then it would be the case that the kunshi namshe, the foundation consciousness, would have to be the seed.
Is it saying? Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. Keep reading, and Nick, you want to check him?
Yes, sir. 1 minute left.
Sabente dupe sartopa konar ngyorte sardu shakpe sabente dukam ki kunshi namshi yinpiechero.
Yeah. Then any seed that you planted by doing a meditation in which is supposed to end up in the form realm deity, okay, that could only ripen in the desire realm because the new seed that you had planted was the desire realm.
Kunshi, foundation.
Kunshi. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. That would, because to be in the kunshi is to be the kunshi.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Dena zechik la ditabarik batayeso. I'm going to say, I'm going to wipe this note out. That's kind of silly note. Okay. All right.
Wait, can I translate it?
Yeah. Go. Beautiful. Yeah.
Therefore, if we say that they are Zaychik in this manner, they would then create like the infinite, like it would create all things.
No, not Rik Tamje, Rik Bataye.
But yeah, but infinite states of mind, right?
Sorry. Therefore, there would be endless arguments about if you say to be the seed is to be the foundation consciousness, you bring up an infinite number of problems.
Oh,
Okay, you're going to get infinite number of debates. That's why I put Mibla. Maybe it was a good note.
okay.
Okay, good. Now, great time. We're at a great time. Perfect timing word. I don't know how you did it, but you got the whole term is closing up at the same section in your book. Okay. Therefore, we can say that to be the seeds is not to be the kunshi. Okay. Because there's too many problems with it. All right. Got it?
Sure.
So let's change to the other possibility. Here we go.
We're over time again.
Word. Last sentence.
Okay. Zaytade jitar mayin shena.
Oh, Tsongkhapa, you said to be the seeds was not to be the foundation consciousness. Now, what's the problem with saying that the seeds are not the foundation consciousness? Are there problems with that? Okay. Second option. Okay.
Yes.
We just killed the first option, that the seeds could be the foundation consciousness. Now our job for next term is to kill the second object, that they cannot be the foundation consciousness. Got it?
Can be not.
How is it that it is not true that they can't be separate? That
Oh
they
my
can
God.
be separate. Sorry.
They can't be separate.
Okay, how we just showed how it's true that it's not true that to be the seeds is to be the foundation consciousness. Now the guy comes up and says, but Kappa, you said the other option was also wrong. Can you explain that one? He says, oh yeah, I can do that. Okay, next term. When is next term, Nick?
It's in February, so get ready, everybody. It's coming up soon. We're gonna finish our translations and then hop right into the next term.
Okay. Yeah, just because of other things we have to do. Term 15 stopped. Okay, good.
I think after this, our subsequent years will be more consistent now that inshallah.
Yeah, we'll have more of a break between terms, and it's basically caused by the fact that you can't do retreat at Diamond Mountain in the winter and the summer. That decides the whole annual schedule. So,
Oh,
all right, thank you guys. Thank you, Word.
Thank you,
Word, for sticking in with it. Okay, yours is almost certainly the most difficult text, and I really admire that you stuck with it. So, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Yeah.
Take a 5-minute break.
Yay!
6 minutes.